So in this video, I'd like to share a few thoughts on how you can get rich and really clarify a few misconceptions that people have, especially the poor or people who are struggling, certain misconceptions that they have which severely limit their income potential. So the first thing is that the rich don't really seek ways to make money directly. What they do is that they create assets or they acquire assets if they are investors that will then generate money or cash flow. So, for example, if you buy stock in a publicly traded company and you're receiving dividends, well, that's a great way to earn passive income without doing anything. So, the dividends are sent to you every quarter. And also, you can sell your stock, your shares in a publicly traded company later on, and you can, profit without, again, doing anything. You're just selling at a high price the shares that you bought at a lower price. But if you're not an investor, then you have to create assets. And this is where ChatGPT and large language models like Claude and Gemini really shine. So, what is an asset? Broadly speaking, an asset is anything, an object that is tangible or intangible that will generate income for you. So, for example, if you spend a couple of weeks to develop a video course that you're selling on teachable.com or other platforms, then whenever people pay $100 through PayPal or credit card and they download your video course, you're making money. The money goes straight to your online bank account. So a video course is an asset that makes money. Now, of course, initially you have to promote that video course, but by and large, this is passive income because you don't have to teach anything. You taught your smartphone or your webcam, and now you have a video course that is teaching for you. So it's very important to understand that if you want to get rich in this life, you have to create assets that make money for you, either while you're sleeping or that make money for you with minimum supervision from you. So that's really important because if you try to make money directly with your time, with your effort, you're always going to be limited, right? So that's the disadvantage. So for me personally, it's not really how much money I'm making per year, it's how much money I'm making per hour. So as a professor, I used to make $80 an hour. So I don't have to work too many hours per week in order to make a good income. On the other hand, somebody who works like 40 or 50 hours per week and who makes, $80,000 a year, I mean, he might make a lot of money, but he's just wasting his time. He's just wasting his life. And it's particularly tragic for young people who are spending like 40 or 50 hours per week working so hard to enrich the company. Even if they give you stock options or shares, in most cases it's not a good idea to exchange your time for money, because money, especially with AGI coming, it's going to be made so easily, but you simply cannot get back the time that you wasted when you worked, when you slaved for somebody else. It just doesn't make sense. So it's not even a matter of getting rich, because you can get rich with a job or you can get rich with assets. It's a matter of respecting yourself, respecting your time, which you're never going to get back if you spend it working for somebody else. So in any case, let's get back to the main topic, which is how do you get rich? Well, you get rich with AI by creating assets that you can then resell or that you can use in order to make money with minimum effort. That's really the key. The key is not to get rich by putting in a lot of time and effort, because then you don't have free time to explore other business opportunities. And trust me, there will be so many business opportunities in 2025, but you need to have your time freedom. You need to be free to explore all these opportunities. And as long as you're working for an employer, even if you're working from home, you don't have the time freedom to explore business opportunities and invest in them or acquire or create new assets. And that's why you're going to be a slave working for a company, an employer, till a retirement age. So I think that this distinction between money and asset is not really understood by a lot of people. Now, assuming that you understand that an asset is that which can generate income for you, and this is, by the way, how Warren Buffett defines an asset. This is how Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the famous book series Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's how he defines an asset. It's something that puts money in your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So, assuming you understand the difference between, well, let me give you one last analogy to really drive down, to drive home the difference. And a cash or money is like milk, right? You can buy milk, and for most people, the way to get this milk is to work for a company. But an asset is not milk. An asset is more complex, sometimes much more complex, sometimes not that more complex, but it's an order of magnitude above milk. An asset is the cow. It's the cow that produces the milk. So let me ask you, if I gave you the choice between a bottle of milk or a cow, which one would you take? You would take the cow, of course. Now, the cow requires maintenance, right? And you have to produce this cow in the first place. So it's a complex biological organism, but you're better off with a cow because it can produce milk indefinitely for you. But if you take the bottle of milk, sure, you you have instant milk, you can drink it, but after you drink it, you don't have it anymore. It's a case of, you know, um, having your cake or eating it. You cannot have your cake and eat it at the same time. And also, milk is limited, whereas a cow can produce a lot of milk indefinitely, not forever, but for a long time. So, really, if you want to become rich, you have to think about how you can create by yourself or with other people. It's always more fun to work with other people. How can you create this cow that's going to produce milk for you for a number of years? And the great thing is that it's not going to be that easy to create a cow, but once you create one cow, you basically know how to create another cow, and so on and so forth. It's like learning how to ride a bicycle. Once you know how to do it, um, you'll know it for the rest of your life. And so once somebody, let's say from the middle class, understands that assets are better than cash, better than a paycheck, then they can just focus their time on creating more and more assets, more products to sell, more means of production, so they can hire workers, more businesses, more digital goods. All kinds of assets are open to you. But if your focus is on making money, then you're always going to seek a job, because that's human nature. A job is the easiest way to make money, but it's pointing you in the wrong direction. But let's say you have a job, and I'm going to talk more about this in the next video. If you have a job, your priority is not, I repeat, it should not be to be the best at your job. That's suboptimal. Of course, if you aim to become the best at your job, you're going to be better than coworkers, you're going to have promotions, and that's a good thing. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's not the best thing that you can do. The best thing that you can do when you have a job is to learn how your employer is making money, because you're on the inside. You have inside information, which is legit, by the way. You have inside information on how they make money, how they market their products, how they sell their products or services. You've got to learn and master this inside information. And if within your job you don't have access to that inside information, you got to ask your supervisor. It costs you nothing to ask for it. And chances are they're not going to say no. They like ambitious people, because their thinking is that if you learn how they make money, you're going to be in a position to help them to make more money. It will not likely occur to them that you're going to use this knowledge for yourself. But even if you did, there's nothing they can do about it. Everyone is doing it, right? The top executives are doing it. Same thing. It's just that you cannot sell the intellectual property that you learn or acquire from your employer. But anyways, your priority, it should be to learn how they make money, so that you increase your value in the marketplace. Don't just do your job. That's something you have to do. learn how they make money. That's really where the goal is.